We now have a video session by Swami Ishwarananda ji on the introduction of Kenopanishad, which is one of the more important Upanishads by Adi Shankaracharya ji, who has written two bhashyams on it, Kena Pada Bhashyam and Kena Vakya Bhashyam. Swami Ishwarananda ji is the resident senior monk at Chinmaya Mission, Los Angeles. An accomplished master of Vedanta, Swamiji explains the universality of spiritual teachings in a very simplified manner for the audience to grasp, and for seekers to implement teachings in a day-to-day living. He has also authored many books on Vedanta and practical spirituality. Swamiji is presently one of the directors of Chinmaya Mission West, which oversees the activities of Chinmaya Mission in North America. We'd like to have the video now.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्परम्. First of all, thanks for coming to this week-long series on Kenopanishad. This Upanishad study, as Gurudev would put it, is a PhD program, जिसके पढ़ने से परमानेंट हेड डैमेज हो जाता है. You will get permanent head damage. It's called PhD. And Upanishad study is always for serious students. Therefore, it is a series. It's a poor joke. So it's a series study on a series of talks. And this Upanishad is so powerful and intriguing that Gurudev started his lectures in public with this as the first one. That is why you will find out of those so many pages, first 47 pages in this book, at least what the version I have, Gurudev's commentary on introduction. Because first time when he was taking Upanishad, people had no idea about what Upanishad is. He was talking to, he said, educated idiots. Educated in the sense of worldly education, but absolutely unaware or novice to real knowledge. So he said, university educated continental idiots. In his strong words, as you know. Because what is to be known is not known. As we saw in the 11th chapter also, Bhagavan is addressed by Arjuna as Vettasi Vedyam cha. So you are the knower and you have to be known. So what is to be known is unknown as of now. Yajñātvā sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati. We have seen that also. So here in this Upanishad, the answer and question answer is directly between a disciple and a teacher, and the name of the teacher is also not there. The name of the student is obviously not there. Unlike Kathopanishad, where we find the student is very clearly mentioned as Nachiketas, and the teacher as Yama, and many other Upanishads dealing many other subject matters. Prashnopanishad we have seen, so many different questions were raised. Mundakopanishad, certain rituals are mentioned. In this, there is no such external paraphernalia or prelude. There is no introduction of who is the teacher, who is the student, how they met, nothing. And this Upanishad is direct in its inquiry. Gurudev used to call it as Vata Upanishad. Kena means by what? So when your children are there and then you tell them to do anything, why? They ask. After some time only they ask what? So Guruji used to say, Swami Tejamananda, when you ask the young daughter of yours who is turning 20, 25, get married soon. So if you go on insisting, that girl will ask, who is this boy? I want to know. Because you are telling me to marry somebody, said, I have to find out who that person is. So even 30, 35, she is not married. So then you tell the child, the daughter, you have to get married. What is he? Now who is he become what is he? Because I want to know whether he can, take care of me. I am a very costly person. High maintenance. Whether he is capable of maintaining what? Even 40, he is not married. Then you tell you get married. Where is he? Now the desperation started. So here what, the very question, why I am saying is the what is a question presupposes he knows that there is something. You cannot say, start a conversation with what? Who will start usually? Who are you? And then we will go slowly, and then what are you doing? Is it not? So in the same way here, the question is not about who, the question is about what. It is to say that this student has already done enough contemplation. Now before we get into the subject matter, as you know, there is always a Shanti mantra, peace invocation. And that is found in all the Upanishadic literature, but not necessarily as a part of the Upanishad. Traditionally, as Gurudev written his commentary, he brought a Shanti mantra from the particular Veda where it belongs to, and from there he derived this. So this particular Shanti mantra that we have here is from the Vedas itself, and as Gurudev has written the commentary there, you will read what Vedas are, what is Brahmana, what is Upasana portion, all those things. So that I am not going to explain to you. We'll start with the Shanti mantra here. This is page number 49 in my book. Om apyayantu mamangani Vak pranaschakshuhu Shrotramato balam Indriyani cha sarvani Sarvam brahmaupanishadam Maham brahma nirakuryam Ma brahma nirakarot अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Any study of this kind requires our physical health to be good. Mentally, physically, one should have a sound health, without which mind will get tired easily when the body is tired. And most importantly, when our faculties are in place, strong, then our mind will become alert, vigilant, attentive. If the physical body is a lot of pains and strains and tired and fatigueness and laziness, you don't feel like doing anything. Gurudev used to say that the ideal weather conditions in the Himalayan forests were so good that the entire place was so energizing. It is not too cold, it is not too hot, and plenty of nature. In that aranya, in that forest of life of forest, the rishis and munis were able to contemplate without any much of disturbance, as well as the students could live in simple life, live a simple life. Basic needs are met. So an ideal condition for, if it is a harsh weather of too much of heat, then also the body will get fatigued. If it is too cold also, you cannot live there. So here, the invocation is very beautiful. He says, Om, invocation of the highest. First and foremost thing is, I seek that attention of the Lord, and here there is no particular mention of any God. Om, the Supreme. What is he saying here? Mama Angani, my limbs. Which are those? Angani means the parts. Vak, speech. Pranaha, vital airs. Chakshuhu, eyes. Shrotram, ears. Ataha sarvani indriyani balam apyayantu. Sarvani indriyani. All sense organs. Broadly divided as two, as karmendriyani, organs of action and organs of perception. 5 organs of action, 5 organs of perception. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, organs of perception. Speech, hands, legs, reproductive organ, and anus. They are called organs of action. So by saying chakshuhu, he included all the jnanendriyas, organs of perception. Vak, speech. He included all karmendriyas, organs of action. Then what comes is prana. Without the prana, without the air that we breathe in, there cannot be the strength, because the prana is that which brings energy to us. So that prana also included pancha prana deha. That is prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. So all the 5 pranas. Then manaha. Mind includes all the 4 antakaranas, inner instruments. Mind, intellect, memory and ego. All of them, may there be enough strength. Therefore, vak, prana, chakshuhu, shrotram. Vak, pranaha, chakshuhu, shrotram, and all, including, as I say, indriyani, sarvani, which includes manaha also, antakaranani also. Apyayantu, may they be vigorous and strong. First thing is, O Lord, make my sense organs strong enough, sustainable. Strong here does not mean indulging. It is not for indulgence, but it is for enough strength so that I won't be disturbed by them. See, it is said, jnanam is that which should quieten the senses, but strong. See, when a person goes to the gym and then to do the exercise, it is not beating with everybody. Why are you going to gym? So that I can beat everybody around me. इसके लिए आप कर रहे हो? I'm daily, I will weight lift. Why? So that I can lift my wife. It's not that. It is not for weighing your wife or fighting with somebody. So that's why these parents, I'm taking my son's daughter to taekwondo. Bhalviyar nahi aata hu, but taekwondo. I said, I wonder, which one is going to give you sustainable strength, mental strength or physical strength? Is it that your daughter is going to fight with your husband every day? Taekwondo hona chahiye. So you learn that is okay, but not in place of knowledge. Don't say knowledge, so we will sacrifice, but physical strength. So that is not the correct way of looking at it. Both are necessary, but one will give you a more sustainable balance of life. So you are physically getting strong is not to fight with anybody, but to defend. Similarly, the sense organs becoming strong is to fight diseases, sickness and other things, old age. So here the student says, may my body's limbs be strong. Apyayantu mamangani vak pranaschakshuhu shrotramato bhalam indriyani cha sarvani. Balam apyayantu. May there be increased strength in my senses. All right. Then, second is very important. Second line you see. What is said in the Upanishad is called Upanishad Brahma. उपनिषद से में जो बताया हुआ है वो ब्रह्म को मैं जान लूं. I want to know what is given to us as the knowledge of Brahman. That's called Upanishadam Brahma. What is the nature of that Brahman? Sarvam. Sab hai. Everything that is there is nothing but Brahman. This Brahman may I not negate, discard. Sarvam Upanishadam Brahma ma aham nirakuryam. In the beginning stages of one's learning, one takes it as an idea and a possibility. But that possibility also one should take. When the teacher or the Shastra, when it says, it may not be our experience. But just because it is not my experience, I should not say, these are all make-believe things. That Shraddha hona chahiye. Guru mein Shraddha, Shastra mein Shraddha, Ishwar mein Shraddha, aur Swayam apne mein Shraddha. 4 kinds of Shraddhas are talked about. In the existence of the Lord or Brahman, the existence of the absolute reality, being. In the means to attain that is Shastra, and the one who explains that is Guru, and to whom he is explaining to me. So I must be able to understand that. For that I should have faith in me. Who is teaching me? The Guru. Faith in him or her. And Shastra, which is the document of evidence in that. And what is the explaining? Ishwar or Brahman here. So, may I not reject. Ma aham nirakuryam brahma upanishadam sarvam iti. As everything. Therefore, even though I don't, reject it, may Brahman not reject me also. Ma brahma nirakarot. Ma nirakarot. This is, when it is said after Nididhyasan, after the stage of contemplation, when a person gets into the stage of meditation, he is at the door of Brahman. I will see that as the Upanishad will proceed on. At that time you knock and wait. Knock and wait very patiently for apavranam, for the Brahman to open the doors and invite you in. So that may that Brahman, the Supreme, which I seek to attain, may it not reject me. Maam Brahma nirakarot. May that Brahman not reject me. It is not Purusha Tantra, therefore you should understand that. ये वस्तु तंत्र है, पुरुष तंत्र नहीं है. पुरुष तंत्र मीन्स पुरुष प्रयत्न में ब्रह्म नहीं मिलता है, वस्तु तंत्र के अनुसार ही. It is not because of your effort you realize Brahman, it is because of the grace of Brahman you realize. And the grace of Brahman will come only when you do the prayatna. That's a tricky point here. Unless you do the prayatna, unless you do the effort, you will not reach that point. And because of your demand, it doesn't happen. See, it is like going to sleep. You may probably wanting to sleep, but can you insist that I should sleep? मुझे सोना ही चाहिए. Go. You wish. But will it happen or not? When it will happen? That depends. When you are about to sleep, your wife, wake up, did you drink milk or not? You always should drink milk before you go to sleep. I am almost asleep. Why are you waking me up for that? Gurudev used to make fun of that, He was about to sleep. Wake up. Why? You have to drink milk before you sleep. मैं तो सो रहा हूँ. Why did you allow me to go, sir? So when you are sleeping, your sleep is not decided by you. Sleep happens. In the same way, when one who has reached that nididhyasana sthiti, that state of nididhyasan, nitaram didhyasa, desire to contemplate. At that point, what slips into, you slip into that state. That is a grace of that Brahman. So, Mam Brahma ma nirakarot. Mama Brahma nirakarot. So, therefore, from my side, there is no nirakaranam, rejection. From Brahman's side, there is no nirakaranam. Therefore, anirakaranam astu, there be no rejection from Brahman. Anirakaranam me na astu. May there be no rejection from my side, in me. Twice he says, Anirakaranam astu, Brahmana anirakaranam astu, Maya anirakaranam astu. By me there is no rejection, by Brahman there is no rejection. Then mutually there must be a union there. Who is this who needs not to be rejected? So I, the one who is following the dharma, the virtues that are prescribed in the Upanishads. Therefore he says, Ye Upanishads sudharmaha te mayi tadatmani nirate. Mayi atmani nirate Upanishads dharmaha santu. Mayi santu. Mayi in me. Let there be those virtues which are pointed out by the Upanishads as the dharma, the virtues. To whom is this? Me, the one who is reveling in that Brahman. Mayi tadatmani nirate mayi ye Upanishads dharmaha te santu. Te santu. Those virtues which are prescribed in the Vedas. That may it be there in me, who is reveling in that Brahman. Because as we see, values are those which are prescribed and we know, but when they are practiced only they become virtues. I want love from everyone. That is value. I value that. I want everyone to respect me, adore me, honor me, like me, respect. All those things we like. So we value those, right? What you value, when you start practicing, it becomes virtue. When we just value and we don't practice, it will remain as your idea or your notion, your demand, but not you. I want everyone to love me. What do you do? I won't love anyone. Then do you think it will happen? I will not respect anybody, but I want everybody's respect. Will it happen then? So, Upanishastu dharmaha trividaha. Satyam, ahimsa, brahmacharyam iti. Three things are said to be the Upanishad dharmaha. What are those? Satyam, satyavak, and then brahmacharyam, that is brahmani charanam, brahmani charatiyaha brahmachari, one who is reveling in Brahman, meaning one who is knowing the requirement of self-control, etc. So, as a need to realize that Brahman. Then ahimsa, not ever even thinking of hurting anyone. Yaha sarveshu bhuteshu atmanyeva pashyati tasya eva ahimsa. That vritti itself will take place. To him, tasya ko moha kashokaha ekatvam anupashyataha. Ekatvam, one who sees the oneness where there can be any hatred, there can be any shoka moha. So ahimsa. So ahimsa, satyam, tada brahmacharya. These three are considered as Upanishad dharmaha. So those may I have, oh Lord, please bless me. So here you see, the demand is not about de do, evo de do, give me vittam, palam, and then wealth and name and fame and this. No, that's not he's asking. May I become fit student. So that is the invocation here. Now the student, we do not know the name of the student. This student has reached the abode of the teacher. Now you understand, in this context, Shravanam eva mukhya sadhanam mokshaya. Shravan hi mukhya sadhan hoga. Because any knowledge we get, it starts from Shravan, listening. Listening is the direct and straightforward means to knowledge. Anything that we know is told to us by someone, something. Our language, speech itself is because of listening only. If the child has no ability to listen, it will never speak. Isn't it? So listening is the most important means to knowledge. That's why it is said, Bhadram karne vishruniyam deva. Whatever Bhadram, that is auspicious, may I listen to what is auspicious. So, Shravanam eva mukhya sadhanam. Listening is the greatest and straightforward means to liberation. Tadanantaram mananam, tadanantaram nidhyasanam ityadi. Now, therefore, it is said in Gita also, in 4th chapter, Tadvidhi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. One should approach a teacher with humility, serving, and questioning it correctly and gain the knowledge. By the very question itself, the teacher would know what is your quality. What mind you have, what kind of a mind you have will be known by the very kind of question you have. That's why many people don't ask questions. Because very question will show how much you thought about it. It is better to be silent and make others believe that you are intelligent than opening mouth and disproving it. Chupro. Then it's easy. Everybody will think that, oh, that's Mahatma hai. Open the mouth and stupidity comes out of it. So, but this boy, whoever it be, the student, he has done the parikshanam. You've seen in Mundaka Upanishad, parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamaya nasti akritakratina. He having analyzed the worlds, he come to know that there is nothing that can create that which is uncreated. कर्मणा न कृतम अकृतम प्राप्यते. कृतेन कर्मणा अकृतं न प्राप्यते. By action, the uncaused cannot be reached. Action also always causes something. But that which is uncaused alone can be eternal. Eternal cannot be something which starts some point of time because of something. Karanarahita Paramatma, that which is causeless presence cannot be caused by something, obviously. Therefore, karma cannot create that which is uncaused. Na asti akrita kritena tat vijnanartham gurumeva abhigachet. Therefore, to know that, he goes to the teacher, Samit Panihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, with dry sticks in his hand towards the teacher who is Brahmavit, knowledge, one who knows Brahman, with Shravan, because of his Shravana with his teacher. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
We thank Swamiji for this lucid introductory presentation of the Kenopanishad. Thank you all for attending this particular session by Swami Ishwarananda Ji. The next session will be at 6 a.m. IST, and it is on Sadhana, Moksha and Jivan Mukti by Babaji Bob Kindler, followed by a video session by Swami Paramananda Ji on showing gratitude to Shankara. Hope to see you all back here. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.